All right, everyone, welcome back into another NBA DFS video. We have a small 3-game slate here on this Tuesday, so let's go ahead and break down this slate. Going to be a quicker video for you guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. So the first game that we have here is going to be Washington versus Atlanta. The tough part about Washington is they typically are spreading out the minutes a decent amount among all of their players. We do have one piece of injury news that we are waiting on as well. That's going to be whether or not Keyshawn George ends up playing in this game. That'll be very impactful in regards to how we go about attacking this slate in general. And I will say his price tag is pretty darn shocking to me. We get a player that in games where he's gotten, 30 plus minutes now recently, he's gotten 44, 44, 46. Okay, then he had 29 in a very ugly game, 30-point spread, 17 points in that one, DFS points, and then 50. Okay, so I really like the risk reward with George on this slate. Like, it should just be someone that we are going out of our way to target simply for the upside. Okay, like, I don't even care if he busts. I don't care if this game ends up being a blowout because I feel like this would be worth the risk. But obviously, the worry with him is going to be whether or not he ends up playing. We'll know that news pretty early on here, so that is obviously a good thing there as well. And if we go ahead and kind of look at the projection data doesn't necessarily love Keyshawn George today, but again, we are mostly just chasing the upside with him, and that's going to be the theme with really all the plays here for Washington. None of them are really perfect. We also are waiting on news as to whether or not Bagley is going to end up playing in this game. He is currently listed as questionable. I'm leaning more towards him sitting in this game. If he does end up sitting, Sarr would be a little bit more appealing, but he's also someone that I think we could look at in some capacity. He's also someone that if this game does end up staying close, could easily end up getting 40 DFS points. And if we can get two players getting 80 DFS points at kind of this low salary range where we have an average salary of $6K left over, I end up liking that a decent amount. Now, the other side of this game is probably the side that we want to attack a little bit more, guys. This is a game where it is a 10.5-point spread in favor of Atlanta winning. Okay, so looking at guys, 236.4 on average. And if this game ends up being a blowout, I will say the Keenan Wallace play I would like. The data has really liked him a little bit more than I think it should be. Just full disclosure, project for 24 minutes, 6x value, project for 21 DFS points. And he is someone that has been popping up a lot like that. Now, if he does end up getting 20 plus minutes, I do think there's a good chance that he does end up getting there. We have seen 17.2, 9.5, 12, 19. Like, we have seen him be productive when he has gotten the minutes. And so it really just does depend on the minutes, which obviously would depend on whether or not this game does end up being more of a blowout. If it does, he should get a little bit more run in this game, which is why you would end up playing him. But for a 3-game slate, I do like the idea of getting to him as well. But as you guys saw, a lot of the good values that we're getting are in this game. So we got Porzingis as well, guys, priced at 6.8, popping up really well there. Jalen Johnson projected for almost 50 DFS points. Obviously, we're really going to like that there. So I don't mind the idea of getting to those plays as well as they're popping up as some of the better values. So let's go ahead and get into Orlando versus Philly. For Philly, we are waiting on a bunch of news. I'm expecting Maxey to play in this game. He's probable. Joel Embiid is currently questionable. We really don't know whether or not he's going to end up playing. Obviously, if he does end up playing, that does really impact the nature of the slate a bunch because there are some plays like Quentin Grimes who, with Embiid out, I would like him much more, although I think he's at a price tag where we can just simply avoid him. If Embiid plays, he is virtually not in play at all. If Embiid sits, we would probably be looking at DeAndre Drummond a decent amount here as well. So just a lot of if-then statements. I do think Maxey is a very solid play, though, overall, guys. The Sixers are pretty thin. They are going to be without Oubre. Adam Bona is still as well. And you're also going to see VJ Edge come out. So I think we could be looking at a decent floor for Maxey in this game. Now, it is a lower scoring game. Okay, like we look at the game total in this game, 228.8 on average. Now, it is a 2-point spread. Obviously, we like that there. And we do see Maxey is projected to get right around 50 DFS points, so we like that. The play that I actually like a little bit, if he does end up getting minutes, is Justin Edwards, but he's priced up enough. And then like Jared McCain, if they're going to be limiting his minutes, we probably can't get to him. But he is someone that if he does end up getting some additional run, 26 minutes in that last game, guys, I think we could end up chasing that a little bit. And so I think he's worth the risk right now. So we don't have him projected for all that many minutes, but even if he does get limited minutes, even with an increased usage with those players off the court, I think I would end up liking him a decent amount. Paul George is not a bad play at his price tag as well. I do think he's going to be someone that needs to step up into a bigger role here. So I do think we want to begin to at least one or two of the Philadelphia Sixers plays. I'm going to try to get to Maxey as well here. Now for Orlando, I really don't like much here. Okay, we know Wagner's out, Mo Wagner, and Banchero is still out. And to me, just on the slate, that does make it kind of limited as to who we could get to. Wendell Carter would get a fine matchup if Embiid is out. And if you want to take a guess as to which one Wagner or Bane goes off, you can try to do that. But for me, it just kind of seems like a stay away with those plays. Now let's go ahead and jump into the Clippers versus the Lakers. Kind of a fun game, guys. 6.3 spread on average in favor of the Lakers winning. It's also 229.5 for the over and under. Obviously, LeBron is going to be back in this game. I would say LeBron is definitely too priced up. I do like Luka as well. One thing with this game is that DeAndre Ayton is out. And if you look at Luka's production thus far this year with Ayton off the court, he's averaging like 64 fantasy points per 36 with him off the court. Now, that might not end up being enough if Jalen Johnson and Maxey both go for 50 plus at their price tags. Like, right? We would rather prioritize that. But with DeAndre Ayton out, the player that benefits the most per 36 wise is Hachimura. We am projected to get 31 minutes. I could actually end up seeing this value rating and his projection just end up being wrong here. This is a spot where I actually bet on his overs a decent amount already for profiting purposes because I think they're too low. And so he's certainly not going to be a safe play. But he is someone I do like getting to as well. Like if he ends up getting 31 minutes, I think there's a good chance that he does give us at least 5x. Maybe that ends up being wrong. That's kind of my spot to get different on this slate. Other than that, though, I don't think we necessarily need to go out of our way to target the Lakers plays. So let's jump into the Clippers. Kind of a same situation here as well, where I wouldn't necessarily say there's anyone we need to go out of our way to target. Bogdanovich is someone we need to get a little bit more run in. He's fine at his price tag. He's probably my favorite value play in this game. The data doesn't necessarily like that though, guys. Only 3.5x, and that's kind of the theme here, is that we're not necessarily getting great data plays on this slate. Chris Dunn's fine at 4K. If he ends up getting 26 minutes, I'm fine with that. But overall, we kind of know just to avoid really the Clippers in general. And so with that, let's just go ahead and try to close out the build here for you guys. So we got two spots left, power forward and forward here, about 6.9 left over. And so with this, I think we just have to get to Jalen Johnson there. Then we have 3.9 left over. Don't necessarily love that, especially with the forwards that we have left. Maybe we just try to get lucky with Cam Whitmore. You know, I don't mind if he gives us like 18 DFS points there. But that's kind of my thoughts on this. Let's go and see what the 9-to-5 lineup builder is spitting out to us as the top builds. And so we're not going to do really anything fancy here with this, guys. We're just going to do 20 lineups. We're going to do a min of 4 for a value here as well. That's basically it. We'll click run and see what it spits out to us here as the top builds. And so here we go, guys. Maxey, Wallace, George, Isaac. Yeah, it's trying to punt to value. I get that. I don't necessarily want to do that. Porzingis, Walker, Whitmore. So I don't mind that. And Johnson. So actually pretty similar for a 3-game slate. Pretty similar there for what we're looking at there. Hopefully we get some better value later on in the day. But for now, not a terrible start here for you guys. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Appreciate you being here. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Be on the lookout for a bunch of NFL DFS videos for the Thanksgiving slate. We're going to be covering some showdown builds and top plays for all those games, as well as the Black Friday slate. So that's going to do it, though, for this video, guys. Appreciate you being here. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.